interested in roller coasters? Anybody scared of roller coasters? That's a good show of hands right there. For people, as time progresses, people have been getting more fond or getting more fearful of roller coasters because of the extreme rides. For example, like anybody Six Flags Magic Mountain, everybody ever been there? Yeah, you know they have a lot of extreme rides, so I'll give you more information about that. I read an article on CNN where there was a headline of a teen struck and killed by a roller coaster on June 28th in 2008 because he was trying to retrieve his hat from a ride called Batman, the ride from Georgia, and they decapitated his head because of the ride was on, and then one of the passengers kicked his head off pretty much. I've been learning about roller coasters since I was like 12 years old, and I became very interested in it ever since I rode my first roller coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I've been learning about these safety and mechanics that a lot of engineers focus on, and how it's how, like I said, it changes, and how it's becoming more and more safer actually. I will discuss how the roller coasters are. I'll first discuss the history of the roller coasters, and then after that I'll discuss the history of the roller coasters and the physics behind it, and I will discuss after the second I'll discuss the mechanics and technicians and the safety checks on these roller coasters and what the three wheels that they have, and without them the roller coasters will just fly off. And then lastly, I'll talk about the one specific ride and on the safeties and the types of roller coasters there are. So now I'm going to talk about the first American roller coaster, which is in 1884, which is called Switchback, and it was the first successful roller coaster there is, and it was by an inventor called Lamarcus Edna Thompson, who is the father of gravity, who came up with the roller coaster idea. And since people are really like the, I guess the speed or the height of the trains, I guess people wanted to have more speed, and they started to create rides like this, and then they started coming up with loops, like around like 20 years later. And I don't know if you heard people with inclined trains, the trains that go up the hill, travel back and forth. Those people actually go for the thrill for that. Even if people are like scared of roller coasters, they actually go for the thrill because that's safe. And the math behind this is the kinetic energy that's right here. As right here shown the graph. The kinetic energy, you have no energy because let's just say the kinetic energy is just speed, and the potential energy is how much speed you can get out of from that height. As you can see, the B, you're already gaining speed and the potential energy because of that same height of the loop. And then your time's always constant because time never changes. And so then as you fall down all the way, you have more speed than ever for point A to point E. Well, E is decreasing because of the uphill. Now, since I already talked about the math behind it, the kinetic energy, and the history of the roller coasters, I'm going to tell you about the mechanics and technicians and the safety checks that they had to go through every single day. Now, these believe it or not, some of these people that check the roller coasters are engineers, and they actually had to go risk their life just for your safety on these roller coasters. And like roller coasters or like cars, since there's no friction, you could pretty much fly off the car on top of a hill. And what these wheels is that these are the top tracks wheels that just pretty much runs along with the track. These are the friction wheels. They help stabilize the cars when they turn. And these are the upstop wheels, which keeps the car from not floating like that rally car right there. Alright, since I already talked about the mechanics and technician, the safety checks that the parks had to go through every single day and night, this is the one specific route I was talking about, the X2 roller coaster. This roller coaster, it was actually my first one that I actually studied on. And this ride has 10 wheels because you have because there's 2 wheels on each top and end. That's just only for the seats of the ride. And now the ride itself has a total of 6 wheels for the ride to be continuing to go on. And these rails, they control the seats of the ride. And to discuss more on the type of roller coasters there are, you have the flying roller coaster, which is Tatsu. The traditional roller coasters like Colossus and Viper from Six Flags Magic Mountains. And you can see like the seat restraints. They're all like, this one's like very similar to this, but instead this one, it just has the over the lap bar right here, and this is over the shoulder. And these are mostly B&M roller coasters, which are, B&M stands for Bolliger and Melbourne, which is a popular industry for companies of roller coasters. And they have like very similar restraints to the ones they made. This is like the stand-up roller coaster. Riddlers and the Scream is like the floorless roller coaster. And then you have the inverted roller coaster where you have the track on top of the ride. And you can tell that all the restraints are very, very similar, like I said before. All the fundamentals and everything is right there. And then you have the more advanced one, which is the wing coasters, which you have the tracks on the side. Restraints are kind of similar to like the ones in X2, but they're really not. It's almost very similar to like the dive coasters like Valbrun. And those dive coasters, they just stay there just to stall you, and it just drops like 10 seconds later. And mostly, for my opinion, like these roller coasters, the launching roller coasters, they're my favorite because they launch from 0 to like 100 miles per hour, like in 2 seconds or 6 seconds. And yeah. And so I already discussed. I hope you get. I already discussed all the math and the history and the types of roller coasters there are in the roller coaster world. And I hope you get a better understanding of what it is and what they are. And to close this, I hope roller coasters are fun when you know that your safety is guaranteed. Thank you.